Hey, good evening, everybody. Good.
My YouTube stream is now live.
Wait. I am going to put myself on mute so Tiny Child does not come through my mic.
No Tiamat?
Nah, no Tiamat today.
These characters are a little underpowered for that one.
Venom,
no
I'm glad y'all are
today.
here.
Okay. We are... Let's see, where did we set off last session? So, we had quite a bit of preparation last session. Continuing that, we interviewed a couple more jungle guides, and eventually settled on hiring one named Eku, a woman named Eku, a native Chultan, who says she knows many of the dangers of the jungle and even knows where a handful of places are as well. Obviously, she doesn't know anything about the source of some dark magic, but she did recommend possible places where we might find information. The most promising sounded like a place called Orolunga. Apparently, there is a sage that lives there that should be able to tell us more. Let me see, did I have the sage's name? No, we didn't get a name. She just calls it the Guardian of Orolunga. Meanwhile, some of you decided we perhaps could use a little more money to fund this expedition, and bet on some dinosaur races. I kind of abbreviated the rules for the dinosaur race a bit because only a handful of you were participating, so I didn't want to spend too much time on it. But, you know, if that becomes a whole event, I mean, we can do whole dinosaur races that are more than just dice rolls. That said, we got a little bit more gold, and even spent a little of it. In the middle of it all, a bookie, one of the bookies for the race, came up and asked a couple of you if you would assist in collecting on a guy who wasn't paying his gambling bets. And you met up with him and beat his ass and didn't feel like talking more, but he did pay up, and everyone walked away alive. And we got a nice cut of that. I forget what it was. I think it was a couple gemstones worth, something like 100 gold-ish total.
Mm-hmm.
So that works out nice. You've also decided, there was a woman who had asked to be able to accompany you guys on an expedition. She was just looking for the next party that might be setting out into the jungle. She's hoping to make her way up the river Soshenstar to a place called Camp Vengeance, which does happen to be on your map. She says she's a member of the Order of the Gauntlet, and that they have an outpost up there. The Order of the Gauntlet is a religious military faction from the Sword Coast. You would all be somewhat passively familiar with their existence, having been through Baldur's Gate and been around. They run the city of El Turel, which is one of the closest neighbors to Baldur's Gate. Let's see. So they are not to be confused with the Flaming Fist, which is the military organization of Baldur's Gate, who run Fort Belurian to the north. But you decided, you know what, we're going to be heading towards whatever this place called Orolunga is. The guide says it's to the southwest along the mountains. So sure, we're heading in vaguely that direction. Why don't we get some boats, head up the river, and we can escort you to Camp Vengeance on our way there. From that, just to do what I'm thinking. So we hired boats. They cost money too. That's why we got more money. You've hired 2 boats so that we can transport everyone, as well as 2 laborers who will push the boats for you. And if you need to abandon the boats in order to go further into the jungle, they can continue on their way, take them back, that kind of thing. What am I forgetting? We packed up the rest of our supplies. We got some insect repellent of varying kinds. We picked up some water catchers, rain catchers, in case we can't stay by the river for an exceptional amount of time and we have to collect our own water. Food. There might have been a little ration purchasing, but I think a lot of it was expecting to find our food in the jungle, that's my understanding.
Yep,
Hello,
that's
Danny.
what I'm betting on.
Yeah, between Tenzien and the professor, we think we can cover it.
Cool. We do need to make one more decision, and that is who wants to navigate this expedition. The guide knows some of the dangers of the jungle and possibly how to avoid them, how to interact with some of the natives, things like that. And she can point to like where it is on the map, that kind of thing. But the jungle is difficult to navigate for anyone. And so it is possible to become lost, things like that. So if you would like her to actually take the lead and lead through the jungle, she can do that. Or on the other hand, if you feel like you might do a better job navigating, you're welcome to use the map and try to lead better and hope not to get lost. Primarily based on, mechanically it'll be mostly based on your survival skill. But that is a thing if someone else would prefer to navigate instead of the guide you've hired. That's it for the first chunk of this. We're going up a river, yeah?
Yeah. Should be easy enough, right?
Yeah, don't jinx it. Do we have navigator's tools or whatever we would need to navigate?
Ah, good point.
So even though you're following a river, it is still possible to get lost if you're unlucky. Accidentally go up a tributary or something. But shouldn't be terrible.
How much do navigator's tools cost just before we ship out?
They're 25 gold.
Yeah, I think most artisan tools are 25. Yeah.
You really have to be proficient in order to use them, but they're more for ships than anything else to prevent from getting lost at sea, it seems like.
Yeah.
Do they have
I am
an astral
proficient
name?
in navigator's tools.
If you would like them, I mean, I don't know if it would help during actual on land, but
True.
certainly would help with the boat.
True.
I don't mind putting in for some of that.
I'll at least get it for whatever water traveling we do. But land, I'm useless.
How
A
much
compass is a
gold do you
compass,
need?
though.
If you guys would like to purchase that, you are more than welcome to. In the city of Port Nyanzaru, there's lots of merchants around, lots of various things. It's not going to be hard to find. It would just be at PHP price, yeah.
So it's 25 gold. How many people want to chip in? Like, I can cover it, but this is a group purchase.
I'll put in, is 5 gold good?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Also, I'm going to attempt to give Thoridne an actual voice this time and see if it sticks. But we'll see. All right, I've given you 5 gold.
Much appreciated.
I'll also pitch in 5 gold.
Lanka.
All right. So we've got some tools, which I need to probably take a brief look at to make sure I understand. Make sure I find places where they can be used. Tool proficiencies. Was there anything else I'm forgetting? Anything else we would like to remind the party of, or would like to deal with before leaving Port Nyanzaru?
I don't think so. I think we've got everything we've needed for the moment.
Yeah, I think we're good for now.
I guess the big thing is to figure out what are we going to actually ask this thing. I don't know what we're going to. This oracle, a construct. We don't actually know what it is. Just the name of it, right?
Yeah, I think so. We don't really have a ton of details.
Or it was Oramunga or something like that.
Yes, she tells you it's a place called Orolunga. Asking more details about it, she describes it as a large, as the biggest feature there is a large ziggurat, a big like a pyramid thing.
Now I'm just thinking of Olmec from Legends of the Hidden Temple. But I'm ready.
Okay, navigator's tools. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, navigator's tools. I think they could help. Yeah, I'm happy with that being helpful. Okay. Yeah. You due to certain class features and things like that, I'm homebrewing the travel rules a little. I won't say how, but small advantages. The gist of it is, if you're in a place that has been mapped, like if it's revealed on the map, and you have been there before, like as a party, you guys have traveled through, it's going to be almost impossible to get lost. Basically impossible. If you are in a place that's mapped but the party hasn't actually been through there, you just have it on the map, it will be possible, but it's going to be difficult to get lost. Or rather easy not to get lost. I'll say it easy and hard there. If you're in some of these like grayed out places on the map, they're just these blank hexes that are the party's never been there, that kind of thing. that's really where the navigation problems will come from. I know there's like class features and things like that that make it more difficult to get lost, and I am taking those into account. But this is just such a dense jungle that it's overcoming that. Those class features are more helping you with the other rules I just said, which are, the areas that have been revealed. That's really where like those things will come in handy. Okay, I will try my best to see how this works. I'm trying out a couple different things with the map and the actual map view. Let me pull you all out here.
So we're ready to set sail then, huh?
Looks like it.
Time to paddle up a river.
What could go wrong?
I'm advancing the day. It is now the 23rd of Tarsak. Assuming we're setting out in the morning for, optimal travel in weather. Rolling for the weather, there is a bit of a light rain today. So that's good. Nothing too heavy, but there's rain most days, even if it's real light. That's how we keep up humidity, right?
If only.
Let's see. Travel pace, that's a thing we've never really used for overland travel before as in this group. I'm debating if we should bother thinking about it. Basically, the travel pace, there's the normal travel pace. You guys are going to be able to travel about miles a day. Oh, did my headphone just turn off?
Nope.
Okay. You guys will be able to travel about 10 miles a day is the standard, and a hex is 10 miles. If you're on water or on the rivers with a canoe, you can travel double that, so 20 miles. So that's the advantage of using the river and the boats. And you can do that in some of the shallows, like this part of the Bay of Chult, that kind of thing. If you're going to go deeper out into the bay or out into the ocean, I mean, these canoes are going to be limiting. You'd either have to stay next to the coast or get a bigger ship. What am I thinking? So that's the baseline. Now you can travel at a slower pace or a faster pace. The faster pace obviously can get you to move faster. If we decide to go this way, I haven't decided how that'll implement. Probably we could either track individual miles and do like half hexes, or so you'd go like 50% further, like 15 miles instead of 10, or we could just roll for it and be like there's a 50% chance you move 2 hexes instead of 1, kind of a thing. We can think about that. But if you do move at a faster pace, there is a penalty to your perception. So it's very possible you'll run into more random encounters or get lost more easily, that kind of thing, at a faster pace, but you do move faster. A slow pace, a slower than average pace, much harder to get lost, you're moving slower, that kind of thing. But you may move, you'll move fewer miles. And from that, what was the other thing with it? Oh, there are certain weather conditions that if the rain is too heavy, you'll basically be forced to move at a slow pace to have any hope of not getting lost. And if the weather is too bad, it may be impossible to even use the canoes that day, which means we may just have to hunker down. Lots of different variations here. Like I said, there's lots of different rules. Because we haven't done it before and I haven't used it yet, I'm struggling to remember all of them, so don't feel bad that you don't. I haven't even explained all of them. We're going to see how it goes and if it's working. And if it becomes too crunchy, maybe we'll abandon it, but I'm hoping to just have a lot of this flowing in the background. I'm just letting you guys know there are options for adjusting how you travel, penalties and bonuses, things like that, to what will be happening. I'm hoping I can just manage it all in the back end, and you may not, and nobody has to worry about the crunch of it. Let's see.
Well, it is going to be, it's about 16, almost 17 hexes to Camp Vengeance. So it's going to be about an 8-day trip if we're doing double hexes from the canoe.
And that's with decent weather.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It looks like Camp Righteous is right off the river too. If we need to, we can make like a pit stop there. You know what? Technically, we're having an extended rest. I should see if I want to redo any of my spells.
Yeah, I'm looking at about 180 miles. So, is that what you said, 9 days?
Yeah, 8 to 9 days. Yeah, I'm going to switch out Cure Wounds for Cure Words or Heal Word or whatever.
I like that. Cure words. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Baba is you. All right, I think. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right. Any other? Let's see, Zach. You're adjusting your spells.
Yeah, I'm doing my spells right now. I can do Create Water, so that's good to remember. Maybe I should have that prepared if we need it. If we're like about to run out of water, I can make 10 gallons with a single spell thing. So that's good to know.
Which in our one feeds 5 people, right?
I think
Or
so.
water's 5 people.
It's one gallon a day, so it'd be 10, up to 10 days or 10 people of water.
In the heat of Chult, you guys need to drink 2 gallons a day.
Never mind. So
yeah, you're thinking normal rules, but Chult it's too hot. Special rules for this peninsula.
Toasty.
Okay. And if this map doesn't work for ease of use, then I might find another mapping solution. Okay. All aboard the party train.
Toot toot.
So who is wanting to be the
All right,
primary navigator for this?
Make Iku do it.
Make Echo do it?
I can do it on water because, like I said, I'm proficient on water. It's just on land that I can't really do anything.
I'm fine with this. Yeah, when it comes to navigation, don't ask me. I don't know anything.
What do you know?
All right. What's your survival bonus?
Religion and medicine.
+5.
End of history. Will it be of Chult? Who knows? Maybe I got lucky and read something.
Did the train just disappear?
Yes.
No. All I can see is the
Oh,
train, and then everything else is black.
The train did.
Uh-oh.
the
Oh,
train-
wow.
Yeah, the train disappeared for a second, then it reappeared.
Yeah.
I see everything. I'm still good.
Katie, can you repeat that? What?
So my screen is black, but I can specifically only see the Thomas the Tank Engine train icon. pretty great. So I've been watching
Why?
Zach's stream so I can actually see what's going on.
It's a good thing that that's
I guess-
there.
Refresh? I don't know. Wow. Okay. Yeah, Zach's stream. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jason's running it too.
Yeah. I'm just gonna reveal some tokens here. Travel up the jungle is arduous. Every now and then you guys have to jump in and help with an oar or so, but for the most part, the rivers just kind of flow. The flow on the river is very minimal, almost imperceptible. You get the vibe that you could flow in. You could go upriver and downriver at almost the same speed. Basically, it's like the flow is imperceptible. Just a big moving body of
Imperceivable.
water.
Hmm. I'm assuming we're just continuing and Nathan's just rolling dice to see if something happens.
There's a lot of typing behind me.
Uh-oh.
Yep, lots of dice rolling.
He's making notes.
Mr. Dog, could you stop farting? I'm kidding.
Stop blaming your bodily functions on Odin.
All right, there we go. Lots of things going along. As you get deeper into the forest, the foliage around becomes thicker and thicker, becomes harder to see deep into the forest. Every night you make camp, you pull off to the side and make camp. The navigation seems to be going all right by all accounts. You're pretty sure you're still on the river, the River Prime. Hunting for food. Let's see, we have the 6 party members plus Eku the guide and 2 laborers, right? And the Order of the Gauntlet escort.
Mhm.
So that's 10 people. Tenzin, you're pretty good at foraging. Able to
Mhm.
get about, is it 5 or 6?
I think it's 5.
I couldn't remember if it was 5 or if it was 5 plus you, but yeah.
I think it's just 5.
Okay. Tenzin foraging pretty well. Eku's pretty good at foraging for herself as well. For the others, for everyone else, who likes to forage? Who would like to make a roll?
Can I help them? Like, because I'm pretty good, quote unquote, and so I would give them advantage with the help action.
In my mind, you already kind of are. Just, I
Oh.
mean, and that's how you're auto succeeding for half of it.
Is that a nature check?
It would be a survival.
I'll give it a go.
Done your share of diving into weird ruins and places like that. Seems to be going pretty well. Yeah, we're good on food for the first couple days. On the third day, as you travel up the river, you start seeing movement out in the woods, among the shrubbery. It's hard to make out shapes. Sometimes it looks like people wandering through. Other times they're large, lumbering masses. And on the third day, you start to catch closer glimpses as a pack of creatures wanders past, and they look like people, but they're just kind of aimlessly wandering. And then you start to see some of the flesh is missing, and they're straight up undead, just wandering through these jungles. zombies and such.
Zombie.
Don't like that.
Not at all.
And at camp that night, none of the undead wander near you. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, that came out of nowhere.
From what you guys are seeing now, is there a visible difference between where you've traveled and where you haven't?
No.
Yes, because
No, I
I
don't-
could. So like you can see it a little bit like along the river. There's a lighter green versus off the river, a square or a hex. Looks like it's a darker green to me, but it's very imperceptible. Like you have to be very paying attention to see it.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about now. I just. Yeah, I see it.
On my screen, it's like super bold, and I can't tell if that's normal or if it's like a DM thing.
I mean, you can look on stream.
That's true. Here, I'll just show you guys a picture of what I'm looking at. Anyway.
What is it? Oh, yeah, that's a lot more different than what we've got.
Yeah,
My
you're
saturation
shading
is
on
different.
you're shading on the unexplored sections is darker than ours.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, mine, it like pops it out real hard. I don't know why. Anyway. I can't decide if I like it or not. That's okay. Doesn't matter. These rolls are actually going pretty well as far as avoiding random encounters and things like that. Man, push to talk is killing me. I keep pushing the button and then having to stop and pause and type, so I like can't talk while I'm rolling dice. There it is. Random encounter.
Huzzah!
On the, which day is this? 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th day. On the 4th day, as you travel up the river, you hear a large lumbering, probably a mile off in the jungle to the north. And it starts raising a ruckus among some of the wildlife. You hear lots of squawking and things like that. And the lumbering doesn't get any closer. But you do see a lot of disturbed creatures, taking to the skies, flying away from it, that kind of thing. And as some of them settle back down closer to where you are, they seem interested. And some of those are kind of staring down, looking quizzically. I don't know how to pronounce their names. Danny probably does. Pterandon? Pterandon?
Pteranodon?
Phenomena.
Yeah, sure.
Da-da-da-da.
Greatest rock song ever.
Pteranodon. Anyway, you can Google that if you'd like to. Little flying creatures.
Yeah, you know it. I love this shirt.
You find them kind of staring overhead, and as you continue up the river, they kind of float from tree to tree, just following after, looking quizzically. They're small.
I could ride one of those.
They are somewhat small. They're probably bigger than Smoke. And that evening...
Tenzin kind of does that, but big monster look from Hulk and Ragnarok, but as everyone else kind of shows off, like, all right, fine, I won't go.
I want it to be known that I'm keeping an eye out for any just, random eggs lying around.
Somebody didn't watch Jurassic Park 3.
You're not allowed to take any eggs. You will leave them
You
alone.
say that. What if it's abandoned? What if it needs me?
Nature will take care of it.
Exactly. Nature
And you
brought
are
it
not
in my path,
nature.
and I should take it.
I will always make sure there's at least 30 feet of distance between us every night when we're sleeping then.
As some of them circle overhead and seem to follow along with the party, you come to a section of water that's actually a little rougher. Seems like it's hard to mud through, things like that. And you realize there's a couple of overturned boats washed up against the shore there. Wrecked, they look kind of old, that kind of thing. But the birds seem very expectant around here. But no danger seems to be popping up aside from perhaps the river itself, which your guides seem more than competent at bypassing whatever strange currents are flowing through this area. If you want to investigate the boats or what the hell the birds are up to or anything, you may, or we can continue going up the river.
I think I'll just help where I can to try to keep our boat steady so that we don't end up flipped over like the other boats.
Fair play. And I'm just going to do a whole bunch of rolls here real quick. So sorry if I can't push to talk.
No, it's fine.
Tenzin kind of points questioningly towards the other boats, and then kind of looks at the group like, eh?
How are we supposed to help them? We are here in our boat. We focus on our boat.
Tenzin shakes his head and then like makes a motion that like digging for, and then like pulls out a coin and puts it back in his pouch.
Oh, you're talking about the flipped boats. Sorry. Maybe on the way back. Do you want to get out into the rushing water and try to dig through the boats?
I don't.
Tenzin makes like a paddle motion, and like obviously we just paddle there, right?
It is not nearly that simple. Possibly.
Okay, is the boat continuing on, or is Tenzin jumping out, or what's going on?
No, he's just kind of asking the question, but it looks like no one else wants to do it. It's like, okay.
Fair play. And I just pre-rolled a whole bunch of survival checks just so I can tell myself if there's anything fancy going on. The navigation actually goes smoothly. I actually got a whole bunch of good rolls for your navigation with Smoke's bonus, so that works nicely. Oh yes, sorry. I'm secretly rolling the navigation checks because if they fail and you get lost, you probably don't know that you're lost. So, that's the fun of it. But you'd figure it out pretty quick.
Would we?
At most.
Would we?
Sure about that? You sure about that?
And so, continuing up the river, surprisingly few on the side of survival checks and things like that. A few rolls up of random encounters. They're kind of sparse right now, even with the nighttime camping. That's okay. That works in our favor. And I'm just going to pause here. On your map is a notation for some place called Camp Righteous. And as you draw near, your guide Eku seems to recognize the location, though she doesn't know it by that name. She calls it the House of the Crocodile.
That sounds way more interesting than Camp Righteous.
Right?
Oh gosh, what was her name? I keep forgetting it. The lady you're escorting. I have it written down. Undrill. Lady Undrill. She says Camp Righteous was a Order of the Gauntlet outpost. It was actually the first one they set up before Camp Vengeance, but it got overrun a little while back, is her understanding.
By what?
That's above her pay grade.
Fair enough.
But I mean, there might be something useful there. She's on her way to Camp Vengeance because, or to deliver message, and she was told not to get confused by Camp Righteous and raise the alarm. Camp Vengeance is further. They know that it's been attacked. That said, if the party has any curiosity here, Eku tells a little bit. She's just chattering as we go along and describing little bits of things here and there about the jungle. And as we come past here, she says there's an old shrine here to some of the old gods, old religion. And this is the House of the Crocodile. It's actually got a very fascinating tale with it. But
What time of day is it when we arrive?
Two 2:00 in the afternoon.
A little detour couldn't hurt, right?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, let's go poke around. Let's go look in the temple.
I'm thinking what, about an hour and a half?
Yeah.
So I semi-missed stuff. We're going into a temple. It's
And
the
as
House of the Crocodile.
Yeah.
And as you
Interesting.
sail, as you come around a bend in the river, and you get a look at the place from the water. It's right up against the water. You actually see this massive statue carved into the side of a hill. I'm going to post a picture in Discord because I don't have it in Foundry. Sorry about that. Oh, Katie, I'm so sorry. Was it giving any error messages? Did you get like a bar across the top, a yellow bar, a red bar?
This is interesting.
I still always see the Foundry runs best on, like if you have better pixels.
What?
So the
Are you
error
using
message
Safari?
hasn't changed. No, it doesn't even load on Safari.
I absolutely want to check this place out. It looks dope. Crocodile head on top of a human skull.
Maybe it'll change once we change maps, Katie. Let's see.
I'm up to check it out.
Katie, I've pulled you to Port Nyanzaru. Does this load for you?
Yes.
So this loads. Okay, but the big Chultan map does not. Okay.
Nope.
You're good to keep going with Zach's stream for a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Back to Camp Righteous. Yes, you see a large statue carved into the side of the building of the hillside. And with that, you also see an abandoned riverside camp, just strewn with wreckage. You see the tents are moldy and tattered. All the permanent structures appear to have been burned to the ground. There are 2 intact rowboats tied off to a short dock. North of the camp is a big ridge with the 80-foot tall statue carved into it. It's carved to look like a man with a crocodile riding on his back. And then between the statue's large feet is a stone archway that leads into a dark tunnel. To the left of the statue is a crude, animal pen. It's got a single small panicked bird running around inside of it. But other than that, there's really no signs of life here. Yeah, pretty abandoned.
That seems
Does
very.
right? Does the camp look like it had a purpose? Like, was it an expedition camp? Was it like...
Yeah, this was the Order of the Gauntlet's first camp. It got overrun and abandoned. Camp Vengeance is the second one. They had to move.
So the lady that's with you guys that you're escorting, she's never been here. She doesn't know all the operational details or anything like that. She's a runner. She's a messenger from Baldur's Gate, but she does know that that Camp Righteous was the name of an Order of the Gauntlet camp.
Fascinating. I'm going to keep an eye out for anything interesting outside, but I'm really interested in going inside.
Sorry, had to push talk. As you guys beach the boats and slowly climb out to go look around, let's see. I do have a map for this, I think, if we feel like, or we want to have a better visual. I don't know that a fight will break out, but we have a visual for it.
Once we've beached the boats, I would like to go over and check out the panic bird in the pin.
I did not build this map, so I don't know if it has token vision or not. We'll see.
It does not.
No vision.
Vision!
There's vision.
Look at those toes.
Can we tell do we know what overran the camp?
No, we do not. So that's why we're here to investigate. So we know what we're getting into, you know? Yeah, the professor kind of wants to make sure everybody realizes we're not going to be here very long. Let's try and be back here in what we think is roughly an hour.
So looking around this, it's described as a military camp, and you can kind of see that with a lot of these tents and whatnot set up. It looks like there's fire pit artwork. Because it looks pretty abandoned. That said, strangely, there don't seem to be many defenses. Actually, hardly any built up. There's no like spike walls or trenches or anything like that around the camp, despite it supposedly being a military outpost. So whoever did this either didn't have time or didn't think it was necessary. Who knows? To the south, you see what looks like what might have been a shrine or something being built over there. That's definitely been burned mostly to the ground long ago. You see lots of char and things like that. I also mentioned a animal in a pen, some kind of large bird. Unlike the artwork, it does not have a saddle. It's just a bird, big old axe beak. Seems kind of stressed in the pen, but it's just chilling there. As far as the big archway temple itself, yeah, big and ominous. Kind of dark to see into.
I want to go inside. I'm going to look at Tenzien and I'm going to be like, you want to go in with me?
He'll tap his eyes and then like look at you questioningly, like, can you see?
Of course I can see in the dark. Can I see in the dark?
I think so.
I think I can. Hold on.
Yes.
I think I can.
As I'm looking around, can I roll a perception first to see if I see anything specific that might draw my eye of what may have done this, and then maybe an investigation following that to try to identify what the attackers of this place might have been? Or do you want like a different set of rolls?
Let's do. Who all is endeavoring in this part, going and poking around the campsite? Is it just Thoridne?
Wait, which part of the camp are you talking about? Because I've made my way over to the axe peak.
I've just been kind of wandering around. Right now, I stopped in front of the pen.
Professor, what are you up to with the axe beak?
So I'm gonna see if I can get it to like come over to me and like try and calm it down before I try and speak with the animals.
You're trying to speak with it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Smoke's beelining it for the temple to run inside.
Tenzin, before she gets too far, will like clap her on the shoulder, like hold her back, and like grunt loudly so that like the professor and Thoridne hears and sees them about to go into the temple.
As you two are heading for the temple, Eku will actually come with you as well. She's kind of exploring, looking around, and she's going to chat at you and tell a story as we're wandering through the camp. I'll come to that in just a moment. Liara, Michelle's not here. Gerald, can you see the map? Did this load for you?
We have a little one situation.
Noted.
So maybe come
Yes,
back. to
I
Gerald.
can see the map.
Okay.
I'll have. Okay, Gerald, do you have a preference on what you would like to do while we're here, or I will stick you with one of the groups?
I think Gerald will kind of hang back and kind of be like keeping an eye out just to make sure nothing ambushes the party from the outside while they're in the temple exploring.
Cool. And Thoridne, I'm gonna have Liara come with you, just helping. Kind of explore the camp, see what's up. Okay, cool. Let's resolve first. Smoke and Tenzin, I'm gonna come to you guys last, I think.
Okay.
Okay, Tenzin, if you would make me, not Tenzin, Thoridne, Cleric, if you could make me a...
Sorry, there's so many dwarfs.
I'll give you choice of survival or investigation.
Survival or investigation? I'm going with survival. 12, that's not terrible. Could have been better, but could have been worse.
Poking around when you first come in, these large circular tents, the big command tents, they've kind of been rumpled. You see some slashed tarping on the sides, things like that. Just kind of looking in, they look like they've been picked clean. Like either whoever was here was able to take all their stuff when they fled, or scavengers have come through after the fact and removed everything. I mean, it seems like even the documents and everything, a lot of the furniture, it's all been removed. Poking around more of the soldiers' tents, the smaller ones, especially up north where you are, basically all these tents are ruined in one way or another. Most were slashed, and looking at the tear marks and things like that, it looks like it could have been metal weapons, could have been claws, probably both. During whatever there was some sort of fighting that broke out here, and all of the canvas is basically at the point of disintegration from mildew, jungle rot, that kind of thing. This looks to be months old. Probably at most half a year, but you'd estimate probably 3, maybe 4 months old. That all this damage happened and it was abandoned.
Okay.
And what are the sections? And making your way kind of around. I'm sorry, I'm dragging your character.
No, feel free to.
Way back here is a set of latrines that were dug. So it looked like this might have been more of intended to be kind of a permanent encampment, but you find latrines back here. And as you're poking through, just kind of seeing, you actually see down in the pit some there's a body that. Oh yeah, by the way, the whole camp is conspicuously devoid of bodies. There's no bodies here. They could have been collected, possibly by the Order of the Gauntlet. They could have been taken away by scavengers. Who knows? But there's no bodies in the camp. Except right here, there seems to be one dude just down in the latrine, like he couldn't climb out or something.
I'm assuming he's dead.
Dead, yes, absolutely.
Literally the worst way to die.
Ugh. It sounds like he went to go hide, and that was the place to hide for him. And then maybe he doesn't able to get back out, so he just kind of like starved or dehydrated to death or something. How deep down is it?
Probably like down to the well, I was gonna say water level. Down to the water level, probably about 7 feet.
Okay. I'll make note of this, and I'll go and rejoin the group and tell them that I found a body.
You can tell I have no knowledge of military latrines.
That's all right. I don't either. But yeah, no, Thoridne comes back and he's like, I'm gonna try this now. Well, I found a dead body in the latrine over there, and he'll point that out. It seems to be the only one that is around this camp.
Who are you talking to?
Just the party as a whole.
Well, some of us aren't with you.
Okay, well then it's going to be, I guess, Liara and Professor Benma, since that's who I came back to, and I'm right next to him.
We'll take a look at that next.
Professor, give me animal handling, if you would.
Animal handling, first up, +1. I am on fire!
Dang.
Nice.
Yeah, taking some insight into the creature. This is an axe beak. It looks to be a rather young one, some kind of a fletchling. It seems a little distressed, but it seems to mostly just be the fact that it's not tall enough to get out of the pen. It could have been left here, but Thoridne seems to be thinking this is much older encampment. Kind of looks that way to you too. So unless this thing can just survive on its own inside the pen, who knows? Maybe it just fell down from a ledge or something like that. But it seems a little distressed, just that it can't get out of the pen. It doesn't seem particularly afraid of you necessarily. Although from your little knowledge of these creatures, they can be aggressive, or wild ones can. They got very sharp beaks, the axe beak. So being gentle, your handling's pretty good though. What are you doing next?
Well, now that it's kind of calmed down and not running around in a panic, I would like to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And then I would like to ask him what's got him in a tizzy.
How smart are these things? A 2. Lovely.
I mean, it's quite possible they have no knowledge, and I'm okay with that.
You know, I was gearing myself up to do a voice, and I just don't think I should. So
Just pretend you're a parrot. Just do stereotypical parrot voice.
Yeah.
That was an undead.
Yeah, either that or Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh
I would
no.
love to hear it. I would love to hear it, to be honest.
I don't think I have that much to say. Let's see. What? So I mean, you've cast the spell. You're asking what's wrong?
Yeah. Basically.
Man, if I do Gilbert Gottfried, I gotta go on like an intelligent rant. The responses you're getting from it, the impressions, it seems very hungry. Not in a ravenous, not in a like a predatory way, but like in a it has no food. It's had no food for a couple days, kind of a thing. Like it's very hungry. It feels very trapped inside this cage.
Okay. I guess I'll take and I'll
It also seems rather wary of you, though. But
yeah, I'm gonna stay on my side of the fence, but I'm gonna open up a ration pack and hold it up and kind of like give it a little shake, and then give it a light yeet to it, so it lands close to it.
Oh yeah, and it snaps that up. Keeping a distance from the fence where you're at. It doesn't seem to want to get too close to you, but
yeah. But I'm gonna go all up to the
yeah,
fence now, and then I'm gonna just take and like dump the rest of the ration pack right there by the edge of the fence, and then step back. And I will remove one ration from my sheet.
How many rations have we used so far? Or have we used
Well,
any?
I think we were hunting for
Okay.
food when we stopped at night. So
yeah, I did some rolls for gathering food, that kind of thing, and you guys were succeeding to gather everything you needed for that day. So yeah.
Yeah, and then
you built for this. A lot of that's just going to be almost bypassed just because you guys prepared for the jungle. So hey.
Yeah, and then I want to say, here, food. And like motion to the ration pack I just dropped on the ground on the inside of the fence.
Okay. Need to get out, find more food.
Right, and then I'm gonna point up at the statue and kind of where the entrance is, and I'm gonna ask safe as a question.
The response you get is no. But any sort of follow up, it seems to be that it's dark in there, and who knows what kind of beasts could be lurking in the dark and things like that. So it seems very animalistic, like it's not going to go into a cave kind of a thing. So
Okay.
it definitely thinks it's dangerous in there.
All right, and then do we have any like extra meat back on the anything we've gathered back on the boat?
For the most part, what you've been gathering has been vegetation based.
I'm also assuming the axe beaks are carnivores.
Hell if I know. Sure, why not?
I mean, the beak kind
or
of
omnivorous, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with omnivore. I can't imagine they're exclusively meat eaters.
I can't either, but
Seems like what you've given it so far.
yeah. I mean,
What are you hoping to get out of this?
well, I just trying to find out if we should be wary of anybody inside or otherwise.
The X-Beak has not seen anybody like you. To the humanoids.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 legs.
Yeah, I was gonna say humans, but you're a dwarf, so no, it hasn't seen anybody like you guys in a long time.
Okay, and then basically, final question is, how'd you get in here?
I fell.
And I like motion to the cliffside from up there.
Yeah, from the cliffside here, it goes up real steep. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to walk over to the gate and say, "Well, be free," and open the gate and let it go.
After taking some warying looks that you're not about to rush it, when it finally sees an opening, takes off into the woods.
Yeah, make sure to keep the gate between myself and the axe beak, of course, because don't want to get beat over the head with something.
Yeah, you both seem pretty scared of each other.
Not that I'm scared of it. It's just it's a wild animal, so you take precautions.
And you're wary.
Yeah, we're making educated decisions here, not just blatantly opening a door.
for now.
From the guy who got yeeted into a jail cell from picking out a diamond.
wasn't picking at a diamond. It was a loose one that I picked up. And I got out. So.
Tenzin and Smoke, as you make your way up towards the shrine, initially Smoke, but then Tenzin as well, Eku kind of strolls along, and she seems, it's like a professional enjoyment of the area. It's like she seems to recognize the shrine, enjoys it. She calls this the House of the Crocodile. And just kind of is chattering a little bit. Goes, there's a wonderful story about this. It's an old legend relating to one of the gods. They say this temple is actually a shrine.
Real quick, I don't want to interrupt her. I just want to let you know that I want to check for traps before we just kind of stroll in.
Sure. And by the way, there is a map for this on this screen, on this image, for the inside, but it's kind of garbage. So we might just theater of the mind it, because it's kind of linear if we end up going through. So just FYI. I don't know, we'll do a whole lot with the tokens. I was just mostly giving you guys a visual for the layout of the camp, that kind of thing. So Eku keeps talking, and she actually falls in and just starts telling the old tale of the man and the crocodile. She says the shrine was built. This shrine was built centuries ago by Chultans. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, in the early days of the world, man stood by the banks of a river, frightened. And Crocodile raised his head from the water and asked, "What troubles you, cousin man?" Man said, "I must cross this river, but I fear to enter the water alone because it teems with your brethren." The crocodile replied, "It's true, you would not be safe, but I can carry you across the river safely on my back if you promise to return the favor." After thinking about it, man agreed, and the crocodile bore him safely across the river, across the water. When they reached the far bank, man asked, "How can I repay you?" And crocodile replied, "Well, I wish to see the realms of humans, but I fear to go there alone because it teems with your brethren. You must carry me on your back across the realm." Man had been tricked, but a promise is a promise, so he carried Crocodile safely on his back across the entire realm of humans, a journey that lasted many years. By the end of it, the two he was rather resentful of carrying the crocodile so long, and in his anger he swore that never again would this happen, never again would man and crocodile be friends, and so it has remained to this day. And so you see the large statue up there depicts man carrying the crocodile across the land. You can probably see that in the artwork in Discord.
Or on the right side of the map.
Yes, or on the right side of the map. And the temple. You walk up looking for traps. Perception, please.
There you go.
Let's see. The total height of the statue is about 80 feet high. Pretty high up. Walking inside, there's a large room in front of you. The ceiling is pretty high up, maybe about 25 feet, just draped with cobwebs, just covering the whole thing. The floor is stone. It's a stone-tiled floor, and you see it covered with a thick layer of mud, little creepers, blown-in leaves, that kind of thing. Lots of natural refuse in here. One more perception, Smoke, if you would. Okay. Good. Despite the thick layer of dirt and everything that's built up in here, you do, as you're poking and prodding around in this room, you do see some weird. The floor is slightly uneven. Some of the tiles are jutting up weird. And on closer inspection, being suspicious, you realize it seems kind of hollow under the floor. Like maybe this could be a pit that would just collapse if you walked across it.
Well, I definitely let the other two know that.
Looking around, though, it does look like it's not necessarily the entire floor, just most of it. There could be a ledge around the outside of the room on both sides that looks like it's not hollow underneath. So it's probably some kind of actual ledge you could shimmy along if you didn't want to trigger the pit to open up.
I will lead the way along the edge for whoever wants to follow.
Is it just the two of you entering? Eku does not come in the temple with you.
Sounds like it.
Yep, let's do it.
Are you following Smoke's advice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, acrobatics for the both of you, please, to keep up against the wall.
Can do athletics instead.
Nope, this is about balance and dexterity. Congrats, it was DC 10. Oh, that's a flat roll. Nice. And the two of you kind of shimmy along the edge of the wall. What? Oh, and you make it past the floor that you're pretty certain is a pit just waiting to happen, to another archway a little deeper in, about 10 feet past. The ceiling here is equally high, about 20-25 feet up, draped with cobwebs. And if we're still checking for traps, could I get another perception, please?
Can I give her advantage?
Sure.
I'll do the help action, though she doesn't probably need it.
We're good.
You see, what is this? How does this work mechanically? You see a number of slits in the walls that could be hiding something, possibly a swinging rope or darts or even a blade or something. You see just kind of some suspicious looking slits in the walls. It's hard to tell what would possibly trigger a trap, though. That's the thing. Even in the previous room, you're like, I feel like there's a false floor here, but I have it's hard to figure out what could possibly trigger these traps. And this one, if something's going to shoot out at you, you're like, is it a floor button? Is it some other kind of sensor? Pretty hard to tell what could possibly trigger it, but you're pretty certain there's another trap in here as well.
Do I see anything that I could reasonably roll through to try to trigger it?
Inside here? No. I mean, there's no rocks or pottery or anything like that. I mean, there's probably plenty of things back outside.
I'm not going back outside. All right. Yeah, I'll just kind of slowly you know how cats like do that thing where they like pat it and then take a step? I'm doing that. I'm slowly making my way through.
As you kind of move forward and pat through the room, it looks like it's maybe 10 feet across. and you're going pretty good for about 5 feet. Let's find out about the second 5 feet. And as you're padding across to the second half of the room, suddenly you just hear a mechanism trigger, and a large blade comes swinging out of the wall, large kind of scythe-like blade. And you jump back, making a dexterity saving throw.
Smoke. Smoke. Why?
Got distracted, okay?
Oh, and you were watching the slits in the walls, waiting for it to happen, and didn't realize that the blade would be coming out from the other walls, other direction, as it comes swinging out. And you're like, oh shoot! And it catches you on the back. You get a pretty nasty gash up the side, taking 15 points of slashing damage.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Can I use my inspiration to reroll that? Or is that too late to do that?
Sure, if you'd like to. I mean, it's a little late, but I don't really care. It's kind of out of combat. So. 16, you take half damage.
Oh, beautiful.
So instead of 15, you take 7.
So it nicks you more instead of maims you.
Exactly. My spine is intact, guys. We're fine.
Would Tenzin have been able to see what she did that triggered it?
Make me a perception, Tenzin.
Okay.
Perceive, Tenzin. Can I help? Can I give advantage?
You can, in this case, make your own perception.
Yeah, you're way better at that than I am.
No, something seems off about this room. It's like you're pretty certain, like she didn't trigger anything. Like there was no pressure plate that went off. You don't see any weird light fixtures or anything. Like it just went off. It makes no sense. You are able to kind of, when you drop and roll your way to the other side of the room. So you're actually on the other side of the room now.
So knowing that it's coming, can Tenzin try and just run through and obviously dodge out of the way of the
Before Tenzin does
blade?
that, do I see a way to try to jam it?
Roll me a No, you don't even have to roll. Yeah, looking at the slits where the blade came out of, it's just stone around there. You could probably, if you had some sort of, spikes or something, you could probably hammer them in, just block the pathway for it.
So if I take my little Titans...
Let me take it back. It might be pretty difficult for you to, but someone that has muscles might be able to.
Listen, I have a couple Titans. I have a hammer. Okay. If I toss those to Tenzin, can he kind of jam them?
He can try. I don't know. Tenzin, what do you think?
Smash? Smash! How does Tenzin smash?
I have hammer. I have Titans. You pretty much jam them in the rock to stop the blade from swinging out.
Yeah, he might know. We can give it a shot. We'll let DM determine how smart.
You're seeing four different slits that might need to be covered. If he's feeling uneasy, Smoke, you could demonstrate for him on one of them.
You just want to make me take a strength-based roll, don't you?
I kind of do.
Son of a bitch. Okay, I'll try.
All right, strength check, please. Not athletics, just strength.
Hey.
You see Smoke take one of her pythons and the little hammer, and she kind of puts the tip of the hammer. She like sidles up alongside one of the slits and puts the tip of the nail of the python into the hole at like an angle, and just hammers it into the rock sideways so that the python ends up covering up the hole. And you get it in there a good half the distance. It seems like you got it in solidly. At least you think it should stop the blade. Smoke.
I look at Tenzin and I wave the hammer like, you think you can do that for the other three?
Tenzin will nod and be like, okay. He won't say that, but he'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to toss a hammer at you.
Can I snatch it out of the air? Super cool guy like ah.
Sure.
Okay. And then also I'm going to, try to lob the pythons so that they get as close to you as possible, but I'm not trying to like overhand throw them.
All right, and Tenzin, it'll just be 3 strength checks.
Ooh, that's a bad one.
Was it with the ones today?
Listen.
There you go.
All right, Tenzin hammers in. All 3 of the spikes just go jook, jook, jook. I was like, yep, it's all covered up.
So then Tenzin will try and cross, and he's oblivious. He thinks he did it well. So yeah.
And he strolls across unmolested. You don't even hear the mechanism go off.
So what this means is I'm going to get hit by the one that got the one. That's what that means. Onward.
All right, ahead of you through the next open doorway, more just kind of an archway. The room, how do I describe this room?
With words.
So very quickly, you see a ledge ahead of you. It's a big, like 7-foot high ledge. Now these rooms have had 20, 25-foot ceilings, and so that continues in here. It's just suddenly there's a 7-foot ledge in front of you. You might have to climb it up to get to the next area. Let me see if I can show you on the map.
Do you need more perception checks?
There, you can kind of get more of a visual of like what it's looking like in here. So suddenly there's a ledge right here to get up into the next section.
Can we go around it?
Nope, blocks the whole archway. The next room is 7 feet up.
Okay. Do you need more perception?
Let's see. The area north of the ledge versus down the legend. Let's see. No check is required to climb a ledge, but the ledge's height makes it difficult to see what lies ahead. Okay, that's whatever. Yeah, it looks like it would just be. Yeah, you just may or may not be able to see what's ahead of you before climbing onto the ledge. You'd have to kind of just hoist.
Tenzin will look at Smoke and kind of like cup his hands together, like push, so you can push her up. And like,
Oh, that won't be necessary. I have my climb speed. I'm good. Unless you can like hold me over the ledge and I can kind of look around and see.
Tenzin's tall for a dwarf. He's like 4.5, but I don't think his arms are 3 feet long, though. He'll try. Like, he'll, like, lift you up with one hand above his head. See if you can get your head above the lip.
Let's do it.
Okay. You pick her up and hold her up just high enough so she can see over the edge of the ledge into the next area. And as she raises above your head, as she comes up above your head, you both feel this weird sensation. There's like a pulse or a sigh that kind of goes through the building. It's hard to describe. You're almost questioning if did you even hear that? Was it more of a feeling? Was it? But there's just kind of this weird pulse that goes through the building as you raise her above your head. The area north of the ledge forms a nice terrace. The floor, Smoke, you can just kind of make out the floor ahead of you. Looks like it's tiled in a 4x4 pattern of squares. So there's 16 squares total. What is this? There's just about there is technically just enough room along the edge of the ledge there that you could probably I'm sorry, there's a little bit of a ledge around it where there's no tiles, but clearly the tiles cover the most of the floor. And on the far side, you finally see a closed doorway. Like there's instead of just being random archways into the next area, there's actually a solid closed door ahead. And you can see the entire pattern. You can see the bottom of the door. Yeah, it's hard to make out. You feel like there's probably something on the door, but it's hard to make out from so far away. You may need to be closer. There is a second ledge ahead of you as well. So it's like you have to... So you guys are standing at ground zero, I guess. 7 feet up is the ledge, and Tenzin's holding you up to look at it. And ahead of you, you see another 7-foot ledge with a door at the top. So yeah, you guys may have to do another climbing. But nice patterned floor tiles. I'm trying to see if there's any other descriptions that you can see from where you're at.
Before we go too much farther, how long have we been inside the temple? Like, how long has it taken us so far?
I'm feeling maybe 20 minutes. You've gone through, like, what, 2 rooms now?
Sweet. Okay, cool.
I mean, the Thoridne's outside investigating the camp. The professor is speaking with birds. Gerald, I don't know what you're up to.
Guard duty. Gerald's on guard duty.
That's right, guard duty.
Yeah, I think with the axe beak thing taken care of.
Yeah, I was standing outside the front of the temple just to make sure, like, nothing attacks us while they're inside exploring.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think that the axe beak thing being done, I think the next thing that Thoridne and the professor were going to do a check out was that dead body.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's down there. It's just kind of floating in the latrine.
Ew, I kind of don't want to have to touch that, to be honest.
I'll let you guys come up with
Come
a plan
on,
of action.
this is your find. I took care of my bird.
Okay.
You get to take care of the body.
I guess what I'll do is I'll relay to Tenzin what I'm seeing, and then I will... Do I see, like, raised tiles, like something that would indicate stepping on the tiles is no bueno?
They don't look raised necessarily. That's just the floor. It's just decorative tiles. Let's see. Is there a pattern to it? It's hard to see from the angle you're at. So just kind of looking at the tile height, They all look about the same height. If you were to like look at the artwork or anything on them, you might have to climb up onto it. If you're wanting to avoid touching the tiles, there is a little ledge of just stone around the edge that you could hover on.
I'm gonna take one of the moonstones out of my pocket and try to like skip it across so that it gets to the other ledge.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading, making sure I'm not misrepresenting what's going on. Oh, okay. Skipping across, nothing happens.
Okay, cool. I'll hop up and I'm gonna try to walk around on the edge and not touch the tiles.
Okay.
And I'll also look back down at Tenzin and be like, "Are you good to get up?"
He'll give a thumbs up and then like clamber his way up after.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing really stands out to you down here on these tiles. And throwing the opal across, nothing triggered out, nothing came at you.
Okay, well, I'll make my way around the outside and get to the other side, scoop it back up into my pocket, and try to make a way to the next level.
Don't even need acrobatics for this one. Ahead of you is a second 7-foot ledge. The one that you saw the door at the very top of it.
Cool. Look at Tenzin, you want to do the same thing?
He'll hoist her back up.
All right. You hear the sigh again as you raise her up to look over the ledge. The puzzle door. I'm sorry, a puzzle door. Tile door. The whole place is a puzzle. The tile door. Let's see. There's a large wooden door at the back of the ledge there. That looking at it, there's no apparent latch or handle. If there's hinges, they're on the other side. You see a set of tiles across the front of it, in a 4x4 arrangement, very similar to the one on the ground. Yeah. You see a bunch of tiles on the door, vertically on the door.
Do the images look like they match?
Yeah. The various patterns on the door, it's hard to even call them runes, but the various patterns on the door tiles do seem to match the ones on the ground floor.
I'm going to take out one of my daggers and kind of like poke at the door a little bit. And then if nothing happens, I'll try to like open it.
Okay. You see one, let's see, make me a perception check if you would. Wait, I'm sorry. Tenzin's holding you up right now. Are you guys going up on the ledge?
Oh, I thought we had already talked about getting up on the ledge. Do I see anything that would indicate like arrows coming out of the wall or something like that?
Okay, that's the perception. There we go. No, it looks pretty clean. It's just a stone floor in front of the tile.
Cool. Okay.
And it's not even a tight ledge. It's like 4 feet before the door.
Cool. Okay. I'll hop up then.
Tenzin, are you wanting to climb up on the ledge with her, or are you hanging out down below?
He'll go with her.
Okay, he hoists himself up. And Smoke, with a closer inspection, as you're coming up looking at this door, you see one of the tiles on the door is ever so faintly glowing. It's you kind of had to look close to even see that it was glowing. It's very faint, but it's definitely there. One of the tiles is being weird.
I'll poke it with a dagger.
Tink. Nothing happened.
Does the glowing one look out of place? Like, does it look like I should shift it anywhere, or?
Not necessarily. It's on the bottom row. So I said the arrangement of tiles was 4x4. It's on the bottom row of 4, which seems to correspond. When you're looking at the symbols, it seems to correspond to like the farthest row on the floor, but the floor isn't glowing or anything like that. They don't look movable. I mean, you can kind of put your knife in there and try and like pop it out, but it looks like it's all one worked piece of tile.
And the door doesn't open when I try to push it open?
That is correct. Yep, no budge.
And no visible locks?
No visible locks or anything like that. No latches, no hinges.
So I'll look at Tenzin and I'll be like, should I try to push it with my paw? What do you think?
Before he respond, or before probably she could react, he just smacks it with his fist. See if he.
Oh, shit.
Smacking what? The glowing tile?
The glowing tile that you pointed out. Yeah.
No response.
Okay. So if I hop back down to the bottom ledge and I push on the tile that corresponds to the glowing one, does anything happen?
Let me see. So you're climbing back down and pushing on the floor tile?
Yeah.
Okay. You hear, let's see. You don't even hear anything, actually. You see a glow on the walls next to you as they suddenly light up and shoot out flames at you. And you react very quickly. Dexterity saving throw.
Oh my god.
Man, our rogue's doing a very bad job at finding all the... Oh, this time she give no fucks.
Taking half of... so you succeed the save, so you take half of 18 fire damage.
Oof. Thanks for triggering all the traps for us.
Anytime.
You get the impression that was not the correct move. Just walking out onto the tiles, I mean.
I didn't even walk onto the tiles. I just tried to push the one. Okay. I'll shout up to Tenzin. That did not work. But it's something to do with the floor tiles. And then I will climb back up there. And I guess, like, is there anything that kind of stands out to me that maybe, like, it's inverted? Like, maybe it's not the exact same, like I have to go to the other side of the tiles and hit it?
Make me an insight check. And Tenzin, if you want to, think really hard, I guess you're welcome to make an insight too. Actually, I don't think it's possible for you to get 20, is it?
Nope. I have a negative there, so.
Beautiful.
From your years of exploring obscure dungeons and things like that, you're getting the sense that this isn't just traps guarding some noble's personal treasure. This place is a shrine. It was built to honor some sort of revered deity or historical figure, that kind of thing. And you're getting the sense that, a lot of times shrines like this are built in every aspect, including their defenses, to honor and acknowledge whoever it was that they were built for. And so there may be some sort of trick or pattern here that you can only do by honoring the figure.
In remembering what the statue of the figure looked like, were there any patterns that stood out to me?
Are there? You can see the statue.
I'm more caught by the googly eyes that are in the skull. Hey, Tenzien, you want to carry me on your back across the tiles?
After seeing what happened, he'll shake his head. No.
I see how it is. Well, before I try to do anything else, I would like to take my healing potion. So.
Gerald, as you're standing watch, there's no doors. Or they haven't opened any doors. They've just gone deeper into this temple. You suddenly hear like a huge gout of flames, and you finally see something deep in there. And there's just flame right up near one of the ceilings. What? You hear a meow. Silence.
Just an angry, slow yowl. What is the homebrew potion of healing again? Like, I have a potion of healing, I just don't have the homebrew one.
Potion of homebrew.
It's a D4 plus 6.
Manage smoke, like up near your name.
Oh, homebrew of healing. Excuse me.
Yeah, you also have to make sure you turn on homebrew on your first page of your character.
Okay, you have homebrew content turned on. Okay, cool. Go to manage inventory and search for homebrew. 2 words, homebrew. Yeah. What would you like to attempt next? You asked for a piggyback ride. Tenzien doesn't want to give it, so what are you thinking now?
Thinking lame. Anyway, I think this might be something that we can consult Eku about to try to get further in or do some more research. Because I cannot think of a pattern that would work for us. I wonder if I can get Gerald to carry me across.
I was wondering when you were going to divert to trying to con someone else to do it.
The only reason Tenzin doesn't is because he saw the flames come out. I was like, oh, yeah, no, never mind. Nope.
I'm going to explain. It's like, the whole story of the croc and the human, and the croc carrying the human across the water, and then the human carrying the croc around the world. Like that kind of thing,
You would fry a child.
You are not a child.
I am a child. I am 19.
I'm pretty sure every cat I've met would fry a child.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
They definitely would cut
Tenzin,
them.
did I persuade you?
He's not that stupid.
I rolled persuasion.
And I'm saying no. He saw flames. He's not going to be that dumb. It's like,
I wonder if I can get one of the random humans to do it. Fine. I'm gonna roll back. I'm gonna run back out. Obviously, we will not get farther today because no one wishes to carry me across the tiles. And I do not have time to convince our random minions to do it for me.
Acrobatics to walk across that first room. Tenzin, are you feeling like leaving? Or you want to try more things on the door? You got ideas?
Once smoke is out, Tenzin will kind of look at it, and then he will try and do like the opposite corner, right? So you said it correlates with like that bottom right row, right? He'll do the top left, just to be like, touch. Does it do anything? Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, if you could make a dex save, please.
Yeah. All right.
Was it an acrobatics check or a dex save for the first room?
Acrobatics check, because you were you're not reacting to something. You were like, I think this floor is hollow, so I'm going to stick to this more solid ledge that goes around the outside. So it's just to push yourself up against it. Tenzin, you make the save, taking half of 14 points of fire damage. So what's that, 7?
Okay.
I have a very bad feeling about this acrobatics check, and I'm hesitating to push the button.
Hey, what do you want to do about the body in the bottom of the outhouse?
After
figured.
that, Tenzin will leave. And probably arrive to that room just as smoke falls in.
Yeah. Do I get a dex save to try to catch myself, or am I just falling?
You stumble a little bit and flop onto the floor, and nothing happens. You're able to just kind of pick up and dust yourself off and wander out of the room.
Excellent. Come on, Tenzin, walk across the floor.
Tenzin will still stick to the side. Again, once he sees it, he's like, I'm not a dummy.
You didn't see anything in this room. You saw me walk across the room just fine.
I saw you fall over, and then nothing happened. But it's like, I don't trust it.
Yeah,
The trick is to fall over.
the trick is to be a small cat, honestly.
Yeah, you weigh like 10 pounds at most. Tenzin's a bit beefier.
What you doing about that outhouse, boys?
I personally don't want to have to go in there. I was sort of hoping that the professor might have an idea.
Well, I do have an idea.
It's like, nah, you do it.
How far down did you say it was to the bottom of the hole?
7 feet.
Only
7 feet to the water line.
All right. So the professor's going to walk over to the tree. Actually, he's going to grab his pack, pull out a rope, and then walk over to the tree and wrap the rope around the tree and then bring it back over to the outhouse to where there's just enough to drop down to the water line. Here you go.
I imagine this smells putrid, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just latrine at this point. I mean, it's literally got the smell of death.
Fine. Fine, I'll do it. And he'll, I guess, grab the rope and do his best to climb down and retrieve this body.
And the professor uses the other side of the rope to kind of help hold weight on it so it's easy for him to climb down.
Cool.
With your preparations and everything, I'm not even going to make you roll for this because you can kind of take your time and do it slow, unless we really want the chance of Thoridne falling in. But
Wow.
No, that's right.
I don't.
That would make your day worse than Smoke's, honestly.
I mean, it'd make everybody's day worse once we get back on those boats.
That's true. probably shove you in the water first. Like, no boat for you until you clean off.
That's where I wish we had a wizard with prestidigitation.
Yeah,
Anyway,
so you get down there, and you see this guy is covered in what was probably like a full suit of scale armor. He's got a number of things on him. As you kind of grab him and heft him up, you can see a warhammer tucked into his belt. I'd read about other stuff, but you grab him. Oh yeah, this nice squelching sound as it picks up out of the muck. And look deep. Now that you're down in here, you can kind of see along the walls there's evidence of like handprints and things like that. Like maybe he was scraping at the walls trying to get out or something. So it's very likely your theory on him just either hiding in here or ending up down here somehow and not being able to climb back out. Yeah, probably dehydration or starvation. And it takes a little bit, but the two of you managed to up and out and roll him out onto the grass here. No, he doesn't respond to you or anything. It's not a zombie that comes to life. But
well, I would have found that out when I was trying to get him out of the well or the latrine. I would have found that out very quick. I guess we should investigate the body, but my investigation is shit, so I'd rather just kind of help if Benma says better investigation.
Screw it. We'll do it together.
Okay. I got a -1, though, I'll warn you.
I mean, he can probably hold his breath longer than you, but...
Alright, so I guess we're just rolling investigation. Let's go.
Incredible.
Nice.
Twinsies.
That's how you know it's good.
Incredible. Yeah, picking over him, it's actually not terribly difficult. As you saw it first, yeah, it looks like this was a set of scale mail. It's completely ruined though. Most of it's been rusted through constant water exposure and acid exposure for the last bit. Weak acids, I mean. The warhammer's there. It's actually not in terrible condition. It's got some wear on it, but the denser metal of a hammer seems to have held up better than the scaling. So a little bit of polish, and it could probably be functional if you really want a warhammer. And then he had a small pouch on him as well, which, digging through that, the pouch itself, technically still functional. Will probably never smell correct again. So I don't know if you actually want to keep the pouch itself. But digging inside, you guys find a couple of assorted gemstones in there.
Hey.
Not very expensive, not very large. There's about what is this? There's 5 of them. They're worth about 10 gold each.
Okay. I'll make sure to get those washed up, and I mean, I'll hold on to them since I went and got them.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you can have them since you went down there.
Yeah, there's no arguments there. You deserve those.
And then after we get this, I would like to start heading back to the boats.
Okay.
Did we want to check on?
Just for the sake of convenience, let's say the timing on that is, as you guys wander back this direction, Tenzin and Smoke come out of the temple.
Ironically enough, Smoke is in fact smoking. So take that as you will.
Tenzin will kind of like wave down Iku, and then like use his finger to draw out that 4x4 grid for her, and like make the bottom right one glow, and see if she has any thoughts.
What?
I really want you to draw this with a pen on.
Inside?
Smoke will explain what they found inside, and how she came to find out that it was not in fact trying to make that cube glow.
Iku kind of thinks over this, but she says that nothing's coming to her. She's never seen a particular pattern like this. If this is guarding something inside the temple, might have been something specific to the builders or something specific to the man in the crocodile. Did you see any other, I guess, clues in there, or were there other traps? How did you solve the other traps?
Tenzien will just flex.
Smoke will explain how he solved the other traps, and then explained that the tile floor was actually 7 feet up, and then the door itself was another 7 feet up. And the weird sighing noise we kept hearing.
When did you hear the sighing?
Anytime we went upward.
Anyone else have thoughts on how to solve it?
Is this when like Thoridne and Benmus are coming up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
what am I looking at
Liara
again?
might have ideas, but unfortunately,
Liara would
she's not
probably be the
so.
one. So it's like what? Something like that's not what I want. Where is it? Here we go. It's something like this. Oh, I hate this being white in that spot. That's terrible.
Well, you can highlight and change the color.
It's that, but 4x4, so it's bigger, but yeah.
There you go.
Like that?
Yeah.
And which one was glowing?
The one on the door. So the door had tiles on it too, but there was one towards the bottom that was glowing. And I tried to press the corresponding tile on the floor, but that was not the answer.
And then Tenzin will point to that one because that's where he stepped, and he also got singed, and then show like his slight burn mark on his shoulder.
Okay.
And then I'll also share my theory that maybe it has something to do with the story of the crocodile and the man, but there's no way to know for certain. And Tenzin would not carry me across to figure it out.
Was there any murals or any sort of symbols on the walls?
Did I see any symbols on the walls? I don't remember you describing any.
You saw, well, there were some general reliefs depicting some symbols you didn't recognize. Others seemed like abstract references to the man and the crocodile. And that's kind of what you saw, what might have been very archaic runes or something on the floor, or like on the tiles themselves, and that's how you were able to figure out which one on the door corresponded to which one on the floor. Nothing, there's no like words or inscriptions or anything like that.
Cool. I relay all that information to the professor.
Hearing this, am I able to piece anything together?
Why are you asking me?
Oh, okay. First off, how long have we been here?
Yeah.
At this point, let's see, with that, let's call it a
Half hour?
I was gonna say probably a half hour, maybe 40 minutes. Like if she just beelined it straight for the temple and you guys started wandering around out here. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I feel like we're missing something obvious here on the outside.
I feel like it. Can I do an investigation, look at the statue and see if anything jumps out at me about the story that maybe might help with this?
As you're looking it over, Eku kind of recounts some of the story. I'll give the abbreviated version, but man came to the river, spoke to the crocodile. Crocodile asked him what was wrong. Man said, I want to cross the river, but it's dangerous. Crocodile said, I can carry you safely, but then you have to do it for me. And he did, took him across the water, and then man carried Crocodile through the realm of humans. And so, yeah, they carried each other safely on their backs. Yeah, you see the artwork there. But the man, of course, carried the crocodile for years and years, whereas the crocodile just did a single river worth. And now they hate each other because they spent way too much time together. Yeah. An old parable, an old god.
See, I have confidence in Smoke. I don't have confidence in Danny figuring this out. And that's my conundrum.
And there was one that was glowing,
Yeah, the one that was glowing.
which was the bottom left corner.
I believe so.
And then, but when you touched it, it singed you.
On the floor it did. On the door it did not.
Oh yeah, they poked and prodded at the door. Tenzien straight up punched the tile on the door. Nothing happened. The door didn't respond at all. It was when she went back down to the flooring, to the ground tile. That's when it singed her.
Okay, I'm gonna ask if I can get additional information, potentially through making a religion roll. Like maybe there's something that we're not seeing that maybe like it's a religious aspect to this, since that was something that seemed to be, it sounded like. Unless you don't. I mean, I could try.
Can I do some kind of like
Hey.
Arcana check too? Just to see if anything sparks in the brain? Ooh, nice.
Thoridne a lot of this is going to be kind of a repeat of what I told Smoke about 15 minutes ago, but it's, from what you know of some of these older religions, you don't know a whole lot. You're more accustomed with the Sword Coast pantheon and the way they worship, but from what you know a little bit of how some old ancient societies have done from your elective in college or whatever, they would protect, they would build their monuments in all facets of it to honor whoever the subject of the shrine was. And so you would imagine even something like a defense mechanism, traps and such, would in some way be invoking the image or the parable or the lesson of whoever the shrine was honoring.
So genuinely, I think the first room where the floor potentially could fall in, I think that represented the crocodile getting the man across the river. And I think climbing up, like we heard those sighs when Tenzien lifted me up, like when Tenzien was assisting me. And I feel like that's part of the puzzle. Like I feel like someone has to carry someone up and over across the tiles to get to the door to open it.
All right, Smoke, let's do this.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
that sounds like that. Like if Ben Miss is volunteering, I won't stop him, but I was about to volunteer too, so we'll try it this way.
Ben Miss will volunteer.
Can
Okay.
carry Thoridne.
No.
Smoke
Okay.
can carry Ben Miss.
That would be an interesting thing to see. That's for sure.
All right, so what do you need for the first, like, these are cobwebs, right, I assume?
Yeah, these are cobwebs. The first one just kind of stick to the sides because that's the one that the tiles made me think it was a pit. But I did kind of fall and nothing happened, but I am small.
So as she points out, you guys can double check this if you like, but as she points out the floor tiling of this first room, it seems kind of hollow. She's like, can you hear that difference in the stone? So she's getting the impression there's like a false floor here that could fall into a pit. Though she's confident there's like a solid ledge around the outside that they could kind of shuffle back and forth on. There's no actual visible pit though. It's not like there's an open floor in front of you. It's just a stone floor. But her dungeoneering skills thinks she's identified a pig trap.
Okay.
In order to shuffle along the outside and make sure you stay exactly on the tight ledge and all the way across, a 10-foot room. I was taking a small acrobatics check to do that.
God damn. Well, this
Now,
will
are
be
you guys you're wandering together and just going up there, or are you like circusing this Cirque du Soleil the whole way? Are you picking her up and carrying her all the way through, or
No.
you guys are just gonna rush to that room and then pick up and try whatever you're doing there?
Yeah, because it seems like rush with caution.
Yeah, I'll definitely let them know too about the swinging blades and how we think we stuck those in the next one, but we aren't 100% certain that they're actually stuck. So just be on the lookout for those.
Tenzien is. He slaps his biceps like strong. Like he did it. It's good.
Okay.
Oh, these rolls are funny. Professor.
Yeah.
And Thoridne. Oh, Thoridne went first. Thoridne,
I didn't go first.
Oh, that was your religion check. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm
Smoke
watching
went,
this, but I'll probably follow.
Smoke went first, and then I followed
I
behind
did.
Smoke.
So Smoke went first, showing you guys the way, and she shuffles along the outside of the wall, and she catches herself on the same dirt clump she tripped on last time, and just face plants straight into the middle of the tile and just goes rolling. And nothing happens. She's just able to roll herself all the way to the other side of the room.
Okay.
Just a somersaulting cat, like trying to turn a utter fail into success.
But you're able to kind of shuffle along the ledge and not actually follow her lead, but get to the other side with no incident. It's just Professor Thoridne. You're staying outside.
Yeah, but I want to join them, so I'll probably, once I see that they've crossed, I'll try and do it myself.
Sure.
Let's see.
Yeah, they both make it safely to the other side.
Acrobatics, you said?
Oh, beautiful.
That was Tenzien.
Uh-oh. Oh, I can't
Tenzien,
get into
you're
the
coming
action
too?
symbol.
Yep.
Actually, if Tenzin's coming too, can we try to actually do that? Like, since that's the thing about the religion and whatnot, and we kind of have that piece together, can we try to do that where, like, maybe I'll piggyback, or I'll hold Tenzin and cross this first section with him, and then we'll switch places for the second part?
Tenzin, you want a piggyback ride?
Not right now. He'll just go.
Okay. Did
Come on,
Gerald
what,
then?
two dwarves worth of weight has to be better than one, right? Thoridne does follow Smoke's lead. And,
All right.
And you're trying to shuffle up along the edge, but with all your armor that you're wearing and everything, you're like not getting the proper footing. And you see Smoke turn around and kind of hiss at you that you're not sticking on the ledge. You're like, but you're looking at your feet going, it's right, but she start freaking out that your feet are over the tile, but nothing happens.
Oh.
And you make it safely to the other side.
I feel like
Weird.
this is the exit trap.
I feel like you're right.
Like
Okay.
when you
The
leave.
DM keeps rolling and nothing keeps happening, so
Okay. Well, I can't get into the temple. It won't let me.
that's okay.
Yeah,
I was kind of doing theater of the mind, but
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, so we come
well, I
up.
was initially, but I guess since we've already kind of done it, the next room. Can you all see the Fog of War version of it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. The next room, lots of cobwebs on the ceiling again. Again, the ceiling is like 25 feet up. We'll split the difference. We'll call it 23 feet up. And the ceiling's just covered in cobwebs. There's a number of slits in the walls there. That Smoke points out as having tried to cut her. But you can see pythons stuck in the walls that are blocking the blades from swinging out.
Okay. I would like to take a torch out and light it at this point, and I use it to burn away the cobwebs.
They're pretty high up.
Oh, okay. I thought they were further down.
It's like a 23-foot ceiling, and you're on the ground. So I don't know. It's probably at least 15, 20 feet above you.
Oh, okay, never mind. I guess if there's cobwebs like on the rock face we're about to go up to, I'd like to burn it away, see if there's any notes or anything carved in.
I like the way you think, but no, there's no cobwebs this far down. Or at least not in large enough numbers that it'd be worth burning. You know, there might be the odd.
Well, then I won't light the torch. I'd only light the torch if that was the case.
Gotcha. Anything special you guys want to do in the blade room?
No, if we get through it, no problem.
Just get through it, yeah.
As the four of you are walking through, Tenzin, could you make me a dexterity saving throw, please? You hear a couple clicks, and you see a couple of the blades come swinging out, but they hit the pythons and get stuck. But then one of the pythons goes flying out across and gets launched across the room by the blade as the blade comes swinging through. I just randomized who it swung at. It happened to swing at Tenzin.
Okay. I do see this, correct?
Yeah, you see it.
Okay, advantage for danger sounds.
You get that at level 3?
I get it at level 2.
No shit. Oh, that's cool.
Natural 20.
Nice. Does that like nullify all danger or anything, or what?
No, it just as long as I can see, hear. I think I just see or hear it.
Sure.
I get advantage on dexterity saving throws.
Things you can see, traps and spells and all that. Yeah, cool. Nice. Anything you can see. Lovely. Yes, you succeed on it, and you take half of 13 damage. 13 slashing damage. But you do all make it to the other side of the room.
After the thing swings by, Tenzin is gonna go up and like grab the python and like hammer it in to like block the blade again.
Perfect. Strength check. Easy.
Totally got it.
All right. You all make it to the other side of the room. And ahead of you is another ledge. It's hard to see up above this ledge, but they're saying, yeah, that's where the tiles are.
I immediately jump into the professor's arms.
I need my arms to climb up on my back.
Okay.
All right. Looking like Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh.
Yep. And then, are there shapes or stuff on the floor at all?
Where did my description here go? The ledge would probably be reasonable to climb by yourself, but with a rider on your back, I do need a athletics check if I could.
Okay.
If you need me to get off and climb up on my own, and then hop it.
We're doing this.
Okay.
You climb up onto the ledge, but at the last thrust, as you're trying to get yourself up onto the ledge, you aren't able to quite keep yourself just to the stone ledge.
Can I assist in this since I'm below them?
And the two of you, and you go stumbling forward, and you and Smoke go tumbling out onto the tiles, and you see the fire flash up above your heads. But you guys are both prone and manage to just squeak right underneath it and take no damage.
Excellent. This is my other option.
But you're on the tiles right now.
Yes, I would like to continue. Stay low and let's crawl like an alligator.
You can go back to the ledge where you came from. There's a stone edging around it that you could walk around the tiles if you'd like to.
No, we're here.
You're crocodile crawling all the way across all of the tiles?
Yes.
Smoke is not.
Well, then get on my back.
I'm gonna be amazed if this actually was what the solution is.
I'm gonna get on the professor's back while he crocodile crawls across the floor.
I love it. as you crawl across the rest of the floor, like the world's weirdest palanquin. The fire never goes off again, and you get to the other side without incident. So there was, from the room with the blades, there was a 7-foot ledge to get up to these tiles. And now you're 7 feet up in the air. You're still like 16 feet from the ceiling. But then ahead of you is another 7-foot ledge for a total of 14 feet. So another 7-foot ledge ahead, and that ledge has a little 4-foot landing, and it has a door, a closed door up there. You can kind of see the tiles on the door up there as well.
Okay.
So you're on the first ledge.
Yeah.
The first 7-foot right now, but you've made it to the second ledge.
Yeah.
If you'd like to climb that as well. I don't know if you're even standing up or whatnot, but
yeah, at this point I will stand up again.
And I'm staying on the professor's back, just kind of, you know what? I'm sitting on the professor's shoulders like the gator sat on the human, but I'm smaller and more adorable, so it doesn't look as weird.
Hey, I think crocodiles are adorable.
They are. They are.
Tenzien, Thoridne.
I guess I'll climb up to this ledge. A little bit of a climb. But...
As I look back and see them coming over the top, I'll yell, "Stay low."
When the fire's going
What
off,
do you mean by that?
does it go from like the walls, or does it come down from the ceiling?
Good question. It comes from the walls, but a cursory glance over them, there's no holes or anything. It's not like it's shooting out of any hoses you can see. It seems like more of an arcane appearance, like the fire just runes itself into existence from the walls. So it's shooting from the sides, but it doesn't look like there's any hoses or anything you could plug.
So while someone's like crawling, you couldn't walk along the edge without getting burned, would you?
If someone sets off the trap while you're walking along the edge, yeah, you'd probably get hit, or at least have to make the dex save for it.
Okay, Tenzien's gonna flop onto his belly and then army crawl.
Well, we
You know
gotta
what,
climb
actually,
up the wall first.
Slight change. I'm going to change my mind slightly. The gout of fire is more narrow than that. I'm deciding it's not like the entire room. It's not like the entire chamber fills with flames. It's more like a gout of fire shoots along one width of tile, if that makes sense. So whatever tile you stepped on, it would hit that entire row. So if you're on, say, the north side, or not the north, if you're on the east side of the room and someone steps on the westernmost row of tiles, you're not in danger because it's just gonna shoot along that row of tile. It's like a little 2-foot gout of flame. That makes sense. 2 foot wide.
So climbing up this wall is not too hard of an issue?
Climbing up the wall by yourself is no check required. You can just do it.
And so then Benmus was telling us to stay low. I see that Tenzien is staying low, so I'm gonna guess, prone crawl across as well.
Well, and you don't actually have to go low. He fell down and decided to crawl. But there is when you get to the top, there is a stone ledge around the tiles on all 4 sides of the room. You can just walk around the tile if you don't want to walk on it. He just,
regardless if I walk around or not,
while trying to while having someone on his back, and didn't quite do it. And he stumbled forward when he got to the top.
All right. So regardless of whether I use the sides off the tiles or the tiles themselves, I'm going to continue to just prone crawl across because we were warned to stay low. That is my final.
Smoke is gonna shout down like, "You don't need to prone crawl if you're on the ledge. We did that before, no problem."
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I make it, I guess, to the other wall then, maybe, or did stuff go off?
If you're actually following through with prone crawling, yeah, the flames are firing off over your head.
Oh boy. But I don't take any damage?
Make me 1 dexterity save.
Wait, so Thoridne has to make a save, but the professor never did?
That's correct. Thoridne, the flames are going off above your head, and one of them starts to singe your hat. But oh no, wait, you don't have a hat. The professor has a hat. I don't know. Do you have a hat?
Maybe in the common clothes he does. Yeah, sure.
Sure, why not? Or you start to feel some of your eyebrows get singed, but no, you avoid all the gouts of flame. But they are going off over your head as you crawl. You trigger all 4 of them.
Oh, thank
Does
you for telling
Tenzien
us
also
to
have
stay
to make
low.
it?
I'm assuming Tenzin was being a little smart and waiting for the idiots to pass.
Hey, intelligence is my dumb stat. It's fine.
So is it Tenzin's, but he's like smart enough to know when to like not be dumb.
I figured Tenzin's walked through here before. Plus, he just got burned, so like he's seen what's going on.
Thoridne was told to stay low, so he stayed low, and sure enough, he's fine. So it worked, and as far as he's aware.
All right, quick before I move on, Tenzin, were you in fact coming up onto the tile edge?
Yeah, and like he'll wait till they're all across, and then he'll just go along the outside.
Are you going up to the second ledge as well? Okay, cool. Fair enough. All right. What's the plan here? What are we trying to do, guys? Smoke, Professor, Thoridne, Tenzin?
All right, so we're at the ledge to climb up to the door.
If you'd like to go up to the door, you can. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any writing on this face here?
On the ledge face itself? No.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm sorry. There's tiny little bit of artwork, like another depiction of the man and the crocodile. But there's no writing or runes or anything.
Okay,
like that.
this man and this crocodile. Who's on the top here?
It's similar to the depiction outside, where the man is carrying the crocodile.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I climb with smoke on my back. I climb up this wall again.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, you got it.
You're getting better at this. Yeah. You make it up, no problem. And you get to the door. You see the 4x4 arrangement of tiles on the door with the vague artwork symbols on them. And you're able to now you can see what Smoke was describing to you outside, where the symbols kind of match up, and one of them is ever so faintly glowing. Once you know what to look for, you can kind of see it glowing there.
Okay. Can I, with smoke on my back, can I push on the doors?
Yes. Nothing happens.
I go ahead and I pull myself up onto so I can see this door. So this door has a symbol thing that marks or mimics the 4x4 over here.
Yeah.
That was on the floor.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly
there's
it.
one square that's glowing.
Correct. But when we tried to touch the corresponding on both the closest end and the farthest end, bad things happened.
And the glowing, to be clear, the glowing tile is only on the door. It's on the bottom row of the door. It's not the tiles on the ground are not glowing at all. There's no evidence of that. There's only one out of the 32 tiles. Only one is glowing. It's the bottom row of the door.
But it's
Professor, can you
Do you-
push what's glowing?
Do you think that this is... Perhaps you have to mimic the pilgrimage almost. Have smoke upon your back as you walk on every single one of the tiles. Instead
And
of just
end on the
straight
glowing
across.
one?
Or start on the glowing one, I'm not sure. That would be my guess. Because remember in the story, the man's journey on top of the crocodile was short, but the crocodile's journey on the man was much, much longer.
Fair enough. Do you want to try it, Professor? Are you comfortable doing that?
yeah, sure, why not?
Excellent. And maybe, I don't know if you need to, did we hear the sigh when I kind of, settled on the professor's back, or no?
Thinking back on it, you're pretty sure you did. You were a little distracted by the gout of flame.
Okay, cool. So I'll just hang on to the professor's back, and do you want to start on the corresponding glowing tile, or do you want to end on it? Because I think it's the end, but up to you.
Let's start on it and see if the door changes at all up here. Have them holler down.
Okay, sounds good.
making sure to keep smoke on my back at all times from this point forward.
Okay. And in this case, I'm gonna rule you can probably just drop down onto the ground, drop down from the ledge. Pretty easy, keeping smoke on your back.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your plan here? You're gonna walk onto the tile that's glowing, or you're gonna go to the opposite side, or what are we doing?
Yeah, with smoke on my back, we'll step on the first tile, or the tile that corresponds to the glowing.
Okay. As you gingerly step onto it, first of all, no flames. They don't shoot out at you.
Haha.
You don't really notice anything different. It's not like the world changed or anything, but at least you're not getting attacked, I suppose. Thoridne, Tenzien, the two of you, as you're kind of keeping an eye out, keeping watch, you see the door, or you just make out on the door, the second row up, now one of the tiles is glowing. So now there are two tiles on the door that are glowing. The first one and a new one has started. And it, so let's see, I'll just draw on the map so you can see it. If I do a drawing in here, can you guys see this?
It kind of matches with the.
Yeah, it's gray because I think we don't have vision on it, but yeah, you've got it right there.
Okay, let's do this bigger then. I want that. I want this. I want.
Can you just highlight a grid in pink? Yeah, do that.
That's what I was gonna do. I'm gonna make it not orange. I'm gonna make it green. That's good. Update. Cool. Now drawing tools. If I do, good.
Yep.
So let's say you stepped on this one. That was the very first one that was glowing.
Yeah.
Now this one is glowing on the door only.
I will hold up. Did anything change on the door?
Yeah, only Tenzin and Thoridne can see this.
Thoridne.
Tenzin will like smack Thoridne and be like,
Oh, it looks like
point.
Zach's muted.
I was muted. Thoridne sees that this changes, and he's like, "Yes, it did change." And he'll tell them which tile is now highlighted on the door.
And then, all right. So, assuming we understand which one it is, we step on that one.
Same thing, no attack.
Any change?
And it changed again, right?
Yep.
Do you see the
Okay.
drawing I did out at the campfire?
Oh, yes, it did, and it's straight ahead towards the wall.
Following his
Then-
instructions, step on it.
We'll call the north tile.
Yeah.
It changed again. This one is now northwest. It's the corner.
Step on that one.
Sorry, I was moving around a bunch of windows. Tenzin, Thoridne, you guys hear a faint whispered scraping, and quickly looking over, the door begins to part and open in front of you.
Puzzle
Solve that
solved.
puzzle.
Yay!
That was such a simple solution that we should have seen coming, and we're just dumb.
I
Well,
kept
no.
saying someone needed to carry me across, but no one wanted to.
Tenzin didn't want to get burned, and you didn't convince him. Well, I guess you didn't convince Eric. So
Well, we figured it out. Hooray! Now we get to know what's beyond the door.
Yeah, let's go beyond the door, and I would like to sniff around for any new traps.
Yes, walk along the edge down to get up there and climb up there. Not even worry about since the door's open.
Oh.
Oh, hey, look, there's a spiraling staircase in the center with a whole lot of bones.
That's a lot of bones, actually.
And a paused game.
Why?
Just because I'm giving vision in there.
Okay.
Let's see. Smoke, Professor, I assume you to go back on the ledge now the door's open?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd like to check for traps, especially after I see bones.
Sure. The floor of this dusty 40-foot high, 20-foot wide chamber is littered with dinosaur bones. Let's see. Do you have push to talk on? Are you pushing it? Oh, weird. Maybe I'm echoing from someone else's time. That's okay. Not important. The floor of this dusty 40-foot high, 20-foot wide chamber is littered with dinosaur bones. You see spider webs that stretch from the walls to a 30-foot tall central pillar, coiled around which is a narrow stone staircase. The steps are covered with dust. Carved into the pillar are reliefs of a man carrying a crocodile. The reliefs follow the stairs to the top of the pillar, on which sits a large, beautiful ceramic jug. So this is not a staircase down or to another floor or anything. It's just like a display pillar. You have to go all the way up, 30 feet up, and there's a large jug at the top. Ceramic jug. The staircase itself is maybe 2 feet wide. And the steps are pretty high up. They're like a foot higher than the one below it, so they quickly ascend. Yeah.
Do you need perception?
Perception. No. Investigation is probably the best for this. I didn't see what you rolled 17.
Now you get to carry me up the stairs, Smoke.
I would certainly try.
Watch her just crit her strength.
Okay. Looking around, like I said, lots of dinosaur bones in the area. They're all very old. There's no meat on any of these anymore. They're very dusty, very dry. From what little you can tell about the bones themselves, they seem cracked and splintered. Sometimes, like you might see in say a with like a sudden violent explosion, like a lightning bolt or something, where the bones just crack outward. But looking around, there's a little bit of artistic renditions of things, artwork around, but nothing really jumps out as far as being an explicit trap. Which, unfortunately, you're kind of getting that's the MO, because if you recall back in the swinging blade room, you detected a trap, but you were having trouble figuring out the trigger mechanism. And it's the same thing in here. You're like, there's got to be some sort of trap, right? But you're not able to tell what it is or how you might trigger it.
I'm going to do something real quick. I want to see how strong my noodle arms are feeling. Hold on.
You actually going to carry him?
Would that be just straight strength, or would that be athletics?
What is your... I'm sorry. Let's do this the opposite direction. Professor, how much do you weigh?
With all my gear and stuff, we're probably looking...
Do you think you alone are more than 90 pounds?
Oh, yeah.
Madam's 6th strength. I don't think you can carry a 90-pound dwarf, let alone with all his gear.
The cat just grabs like...
I love the effort, though. A for effort.
When that doesn't work, I'm going to look back at Tenzien and say, can you carry the professor?
No,
Actually, I'm starting to question if you could even drag him. Maybe. I don't know.
I'll certainly try to drag him.
Well,
I'm getting that
case.
scene from The Lion King where the rhinoceros is on top of Zazu.
Exactly.
All right. So you want Tenzien to try and carry the professor?
No. I don't.
No, I'm going to try to drag him across the floor.
I don't think it's character specific. It was a joke. I'll keep Smoke on me, and then we'll just take the first step in the room.
Oh, okay. I'll stay on his back then.
I mean, if you want to be in on this, I mean, Thoridne, Tenzien, I mean, you guys can piggyback each other if you want to. It doesn't matter. Seems to be working so far with just one set, but hey.
I don't know. I get the feeling that the part with the piggybacking is done, or is Smoke picking up that there's a trap here?
Well, she's picking up that there's lots of dead things in here.
And if carrying somebody 4 squares across what is, I guess, a river, that was easy compared to climbing somebody up a set of stairs. Because we had 1, 2, 3, 4 squares we walked across.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll sit back and watch. I mean, worst case scenario, a trap does trigger, and if the door locks, we can at least try to get you back out.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm getting that the professor and Smoke wander into the chamber. Inside.
Smoke is on the professor's back again.
And I would like to make sure I look up as we enter the room, make sure there's nothing clinging on the ceiling.
Sure. Cobwebs. Still somewhat thick. The ceiling is a little low. No, it's not lower. Oh, the ceiling went up high in this chamber.
Yeah, because we should be
What did I
inside
say?
the heads.
40 feet high. So you guys came up a couple ledges, but the ceiling went higher too. In fact, it's probably up into the statue of the man outside. Is this? So it's a 40-foot high chamber. The pillar in the center goes up about 30. And looking good. Are you? What do you guys want to look? I guess you're just kind of checking out the chamber, and then.
Well, I'm walking straight towards the stairs with Smoke on my back.
You're wanting to go up. You're wanting to go up the stairs.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's see. The staircase spirals around. Like I said, they're about 2 foot wide steps and about a foot tall. So you're having to take big steps to go up them.
Yeah. Slow and steady. Let Smoke have an eye out for anything that we're missing.
Yeah. If I could have both of you separately make acrobatics, please.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Uh-oh.
Excellent. There's 30 steps in total, but you're able to kind of find your rhythm, and Smoke helps steady you against the pillar a little bit. No safety rails. This is not OSHA compliant or ADA compliant. Good. And you find your way all the way to the top, where there's a very beautiful, large ceramic jug. When I say large, I mean maybe about a gallon. It feels like. And it's very decorated. It's got the similar art style to the art you've seen around in the Chultan city, like in Port Nyanzaru, and with this temple here. So it's very old kind of Chultan artwork jug. And let's see. Make me a quick investigation. Yeah, I was to say. Figured you'd say that. Professor, it's absolutely safe. Smoke. Looking at it again, it's like your spidey senses going off. Like there's probably some sort of trap here, but there's no mechanism that you can see. No. You kind of look closely at it for signs of any pressure plates underneath, Indiana Jones style, or things like that. It looks clean. You said you're doing it all from the professor's back, yeah. Just kind of squirreling over him, just going, this all looks Looks clean. Looks good. We can probably grab this. Looks safe.
Does it look like there's something inside of the jug?
It has a lid,
Uh,
or more like a cork, I guess.
so I realized what I forgot to buy when we were in town.
What's that?
I forgot to buy pencils and paper for sketches.
Ah.
I'm gonna try to delicately lift the lid of the jug. Like, I'm not gonna look into it. I just want to lift it and see if like something comes out.
I misspoke. I'm sorry. I didn't mean lid. I meant cork, like wine, like a wine bottle, like a cork or something. Stoppers. Yeah. Sorry. I thought I said lid, and then I looked at the picture of it again, and I went, oh wait, those are more stoppers. And I do say stoppers plural. Looking at it, there's actually like maybe 10 different stoppers on it. One's at the top, but there's a bunch of different little ones around the outside.
We found our first magic items, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
You think so?
I have a feeling.
Smoke looks at the professor and she's like, "How fast can you run?"
How high up are we?
30.
I can run 20 feet a second, or 20 feet around, 25 feet around.
20, you can go 50 if you're dashing.
Right, but I'm not going to dash down these stairs.
It's too narrow, too steep. You'd fall.
Yeah. Actually, I've got a better idea. Hang on. Can you grab my pickaxe off the back of my pack?
I grab the pickaxe.
Great, I've got
and
the
hand
pickaxe.
it to the professor.
Okay.
Okay.
If push comes to shove, I'm jumping off the edge and slamming this into the slide to slide down.
Perfect. All right, on the count of 3, I'm going to grab the jug.
That's not what I thought you were going to do with the pickaxe. I thought you were going to like golf it to Tenzin or something.
No, yeah, bring it. No.
All right, you ready?
Yes, I would like to ready a reaction to head for the stairs.
Excellent. Holding on tight to the professor, I scoop up the jug with my other arm.
Right. Smoke the Rider grabs the jug in both of her arms. It's like a milk jug. Well, I'm sorry, like about the size. It's about a gallon. Grabs the jug, grabs it in her arms, and tries to hold on with, as best she can with her legs onto the professor's back. As the professor goes descending down the stairwell. There's no reaction from the room as you take off at a mad dash.
Well, okay. After like the
but
first few steps, if nothing happens, I'll slow it down.
Yeah.
I heard a butt, though.
Making your way down the stairs again, I need another set of acrobatics checks from the both of you. Smoke, because your hands are occupied trying to keep hold of this jug, could you please make yours with disadvantage? Professor, you can make yours straight.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
Oh,
Excellent.
much better.
Oh, you start to wobble and then catch yourself, and that pickaxe really helps for stabilizing.
I slammed the pickaxe down onto the ground and just like use it like a cane now.
Absolutely. And as the two of you slowly wobble your way back down the stairs, you still feel the strange tension in the room, but you're allowed. It seems you're allowed to leave without incident. You make it back down and
Go team piggyback.
go meet your friends at the door.
Yes. All right. I guess I'll stay on your back until we get past the floor tiles, and then I'll hop off of your back.
Well,
Yeah,
we can,
cool.
like
We'll make it
avoid
easier out.
all the rest of the traps basically.
Yep. As you guys walk through, wait, how are you going through the pit room? What are you doing?
I guess we're settling across again.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not
hugging
going
the
to
edges.
carry. Yeah, I'm not going to carry the vase trying to go across because it's my body size, and that seems like a terrible idea. So I will pass it to one of the taller dwarves.
Tenzin will take the vase and try and sidle with it, since he's probably the strongest.
Acrobatics. Uh-oh.
I dodged the mound of dirt, guys. We're good.
Does Tenzin need to make it at disadvantage? Or is he big enough?
That was because she was a rider. She was. It wasn't just that she was carrying the jug; it's that she was riding on the back of someone while carrying the jug. Speaking of which, are you still riding on the professor's back, even though you passed off the jug? No,
Yes.
You guys are just...
Yes. I was going to get down. The professor did not let me, so I just passed the jug to Tenzin.
We've had too much luck with you on my back.
Tenzin and Thoridne go acrobating their way across the edge of the room. And Professor Benmis just boldly strolls across the room carrying smoke to her doom on his back.
Yep.
And boldly walks out of the temple with smoke on his back. The two of them just stroll out of there.
Hooray!
Piggybacks for the win.
But actually, all four of you make it out.
Cool. So the solution was piggybacks all along.
All along.
So when Tenzin gets out and he's in the sun, he's going to hold the jar slightly and like hold up to his ear and like lightly shake it. See, like, is it sloshing? Is there liquid in it?
Yeah, it sounds like there's liquid in there.
Do we have anyone in the group that could identify this?
Liara, probably. I can't. Maybe Benmis. But I'm not trained in Arcana.
Neither am I.
Liara's trained in Arcana. She's a warlock, though. I don't know if she has Identify prepared. She might, though. I think she took she's a tome lock, so she might. Let me look. Nobody else took it. Tenzin, you don't have Identify.
No.
Bro can't even fucking spell his own name. You think he can identify?
Liara does not have Identify, but she might have the best luck on a rest.
I feel like I've read about this in a book.
Excellent. I guess I'll vote to give it to Liara to hold on to at least until we have time to settle down, and then we hop back in the boats.
Tenzin will look to Iku though and be like, "You know, kind of point to her like, you know what this is?"
She's never seen it before in her life. No, she's never heard of it. What, you gonna play with it, Tenzin? It's covered in corks. It's like a single jug that's got a whole bunch of corks, one at the top, a whole bunch on the sides. They're kind of pointless. It's like, why would you need more than one cork, especially all the way around?
No, he's dumb, but he's also smart enough to be like, maybe I shouldn't fuck with this. So then, yeah, he'll just hand it off to Liara and like, here you go, plunk, and like plop it into her arms, and then head back to the boat.
Yeah, and to be clear, in case we think about it later, there really was any other obvious like treasure or anything in there. Like there was no gold coins scattered about or anything that you can see. So I don't want to think that like the traps made us skip over everything else. Yeah. Okay, well that is roughly where we should end tonight's session. We already lost Gerald, unfortunately, due to baby problems, but I don't know if you guys have any intention of looking around this camp anymore, or if you're pretty satisfied with what you got. But you found a temple and managed to beat back the traps that were inside, so it's pretty fun.
I'm pretty satisfied with everything. Yeah, this was nice.
Yeah, hell yeah.
A small little diversion. We may have gotten something out of it. I don't know what it is yet.
I'm glad that it mostly worked Theater of the Mind. I was hoping it would do so. I showed off the camp with artwork, but it's not like we really did a fight here. It was just a point of reference.
I half expected a fight. I'm still curious as to what maybe had attacked it, but maybe we can figure out what happened here from Camp Vengeance when we get to there.
Who knows? There might be a fight. I probably misread the chapter and I'm supposed to attack you with something. We'll see. But I thought the trapped room was just... that was fun. It was a good time. So, all right. That's, I think, a good place to call it for tonight. Well done, everyone.
All right.
Head back to the boats and get back on the water for the rest of the day.
Hooray!
You found the rabbi's sacramental wine.
Woohoo!
Well,
Alrighty, catch y'all later. Need to go help with the.
All right. Have a good night. Good night. I hope Emma feels better.
Jason, I got your message and I was like, yes, we did it.
You'll have a good night. I'm excited though to find out what this item is. But
I hope it's infinite water.
It might be. That's what my or not infinite water, but near is like definitely something to help with that. That's what I'm thinking. But we'll see when we figure that out. You know.